On March 29th, 2021, Inverse.com published an interview with Gravity Falls creator Alex Hirsch. In it, they talked to him about various things related to the series. In one of the questions, Alex mentioned that if he could, he would want to make a Gravity Falls game that is in-depth, full of lore related to the series, has new canon material, and more. He adds on that such an idea, while exciting, wouldn't likely come to fruition because Disney owns the rights to the show and they in turn have no plans to ever do that. Inverse would take Alex's words and spin it into a whole clickbait article with a title about how Season 3 is possible in a video game form, which was something that Alex Hirsch himself was pretty annoyed about. But it did bring up an interesting question. What would a Gravity Falls video game be like? And I don't mean something like a Flash or 3DS game that Gravity Falls already has many of. I'm talking about an open world game, set in Gravity Falls, with a story to tell, and an adventure to be had. And while Disney may not be interested in that, fans are. And one fan, especially so, because check out what he has managed to do. What you're looking at is footage from a real fan-made Gravity Falls open-world game, full of adventure, mystery, puzzles, and more. This project has been in the works for some time now, and the creator of the game has given me the chance to play around with it. With the game about to be released, I figured this is a chance to give you all a little glimpse into what you can expect. This is Gravity Falls. An Egg-Cellent journey begins. Now, the story of this game goes a bit back. It is the brainchild of a game dev named Samuel Morgan. A while back on the Gravity Falls hashtag on Tumblr, I began noticing these 3D renders of buildings from the town. Eventually, screenshots of a game in development began to surface. I was pretty surprised and intrigued. There have been Gravity Falls fan-made games in the past, but this one looked like something big. Eventually, a trailer was posted and I got a DM from Samuel himself, who gave me early access to the game to try it out and see for myself what was to come. Now, according to Samuel in the game's description, this game is meant to be a sort of Gravity Falls spin on classic games like Banjo-Kazooie and Simpsons Hit and Run, with an Easter egg hunt element in it. The in-game story is that the residents of Gravity Falls start turning into 2D sprites of themselves. All but Dipper. It is now up to him to uncover the truth of what happened and confront the villain behind it all. All the while, you must solve mysteries and help the townsfolk. Of course, the beauty of this game is the fact that it's set entirely within Gravity Falls. And as I said earlier, it's open world. So, while there is a main story for you to uncover and side quests too, you also have the freedom to explore and check out everything there is to see. And this isn't some simple world either where the buildings are just hollow and cool to look at on the exterior for show. They've got interiors. You can explore the Mystery Shack, drive to the lake, or even go down into Ford's portal room. You can watch the sunset from the hills that Northwest Manor is on, or walk around as it snows in the town and Dipper looks out of place in his summer attire. It is incredible. I found myself spending a good few hours just walking around the town. I was truly in love with everything that I was seeing and the detail of it all. I cannot stress to you enough the detail that there is in this game. Samuel says this is his first Gravity Falls game that he's developed, and if this is what he did on his first go, then give this man an award right now, cause this blows out all the other GF fan-made games out the door. The ability to be able to even just explore a near-show accurate Gravity Falls in-game is beyond belief. I truly feel that this game is as close as we may ever get to what Alex Hirsch would have loved to have made when an indie studio or something, as he said he would have wanted to do if he owned the rights to Gravity Falls. I loved exploring, having fun playing the game properly, and even just conversing with townsfolk and trying to find as many Easter eggs and show content that I could, which is sprinkled around the world. The fact this is even possible to do, and that we even have a game like this to begin with, even if fan-made, is incredible, and just shows how dedicated and loved Gravity Falls is that someone took the time to create this. Now, while this game is amazing, there are some drawbacks, and Samuel himself let me know about them, and he has them listed as well. For one, this is a very resource-intensive game. He listed the setup he has and what the results he got on it, but the results may vary depending on what your PC has got. Now, while mine is not anything super fancy, it's also still pretty new, and it's got some decent specs to it, and even it struggled to run it a bit, even with the more modest settings. Of course, you can always lower the settings, but that kinda defeats a lot of the purpose of having them turned up to enjoy this game to the fullest. So keep that in mind if you wish to play it. Also be sure to have storage space, given this game takes up at least 4 gigs. Personally speaking, I feel that some further optimizing is needed, where it isn't rendering everything around and doing some more as you move to it. I found, for example, that walking with the camera facing down gave you higher FPS, but then again, you're missing out a lot of the world if you look down. Of course, this being a fan-made game, the bugs and lag to an extent can be forgiven. That said, I would suggest to Samuel that some further optimizing is needed so that this game can run better on at least mid to lower spec hardware. There is another thing, however, to keep in mind regarding this game, which Samuel also mentioned in his disclaimer section. AI. Samuel has disclosed that the sprites of the animals seen in the game are AI generated, and dialogue was developed with ChatGPT assistance. Now obviously, in this day and age with AI content being so prevalent and the risks and problems associated with it, there is a morality question that is brought up when its use is mentioned. I will say, on Samuel's part, making that very clear from the get-go is good, and gives players notice about that beforehand. Personally speaking, I feel the overall look of the game speaks for itself on all this, given pretty much beyond these 2 things he was transparent about, everything else was made by him and is incredibly well done. Furthermore, as an independent developer who is making this game as a passion project with no profit intentions or without backing from, say, a studio or something, or perhaps the funds to commission such stuff, in my opinion at least, I'm more understanding in that regard to it. That, of course, is not me condoning AI usage overall. I mean, my stance on the matter overall still is that if you're a studio or at least a major company that has the budget to afford hiring real artists, you should do that over AI. Of course, there are aspects where AI in its use in the real world is good, but it's not, and it should never be a replacement for real artists. Furthermore, I'm not trying to downplay Samuel's work overall because he did an amazing job in this game, but because he had that stated in the description of the game, and as someone who's reviewing this game for this video, I do have a duty to ensure that you as the viewer know this beforehand, because obviously, for some people, AI topics such as this overall can be a bit of a touchy subject, and overall I do want to make that clear beforehand so that you know what you're getting yourself into if you play this game. However, like I said, Samuel is a talented artist and developer who has created a game that is well made and done so by his own doing, more so than with the use of AI. And given he's just one guy doing this out of love for the show, I feel that outweighs it overall. That said, my personal suggestion would still be to eventually find a way to phase out AI content over time. Perhaps working with others in the fandom can be a great way to do that. There are a lot of fans who may be down to work on such a game or even lend assistance where need be, so that can be an avenue to explore down the line. Furthermore, compared to stuff like studios like Disney using AI that is threatening jobs, I feel that is a far greater threat and a thing to talk about compared to a little bit of usage of AI in a fan-made, not-for-profit Gravity Falls game that 99% of the rest of it is original and made by an amazingly talented artist and developer. Of course, given it was stated, I again had to mention this in the video, but overall, like I said, I feel that in the grand scheme of things, the game itself speaks for itself in terms of it being original and done with actual handmade creativity rather than AI usage. So just wanted to make that clear. But overall, I have to say, I am beyond amazed and impressed with this game. Samuel has created something truly special and beyond incredible here. It takes a lot of dedication, love, and talent to create something like this, and I feel he deserves every single ounce of credit and love for this. I had so much fun playing around with this game and exploring the town, and even now I feel there is so much left to explore. It was so refreshing to play a game set in a place I actually want to visit and a world that I love. Gravity Falls is probably one of the most beautiful locations ever set in a cartoon, and it's a place that I would love to visit for real, even if in game form. So this was so worth it, and everything that I hoped for. I am so going to be playing this game more so when I can, and I really hope all of you will play it as well when it releases. Right now, Samuel is still working on planning a release date, but when it does, you can bet I'll be playing the full game. Even now, with the success Gravity Falls is having since the Book of Bill release, Disney still refuses to give this show the chance to prove itself this way. A Gravity Falls game is something so many people would instantly sign up for and play. It would be a great way to revisit this amazing world and tell a new story. GF fans would eat into this and be as hyped for it as everyone right now is for GTA 6. And yeah, I mean, that's probably maybe a stretch, but I do believe there is a market for a game like this. And Samuel has gone out of his way to create a passion project asking for nothing in return to give us the closest we may probably ever get to such a game. And for that, I am beyond grateful to him and for the dedication of fans like him. So, are you ready to take a trip back to Gravity Falls and help Dipper save the town from turning 2D? If you are, then get playing. Because we now finally can explore the world Alex Hirsch created without restriction and without limit. Gravity Falls, an excellent journey begins, is the Gravity Falls open world game we've been missing out on. The only question left is, are you ready to explore it? I've been that GFN, and thank you for watching.